Welcome to the Milo Experience.
Hello, everybody, and welcome, one and all. Everyone is now welcome to my podcast. Yes, thank you so much for joining me for number 25 of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong. Yes, sir. I'm so happy to be joined by you today. I'm so happy to join you. We're all joining forces. Let's join hands, and once again in communion. And I feel like this podcast has really brought us all together. You know what I'm saying? Episode number 25, man. It's been a long journey. Am I right? It's been such a long, exhausting and tiresome, trivial, tedious fucking journey that we've all been on, isn't it? Am I right? Am I motherfucking right about that? Can I get an amen in the crowd? Please. Can I get some support? Can I get hear ye? Can I get anything? An aye? Yeah, it's been a long journey, man. My feet are sore. My feet are, blistered. My knees are buckling. I'm so dehydrated. My lips, man, they're just so leathery and chapped up because of the lack of water in my body from this long and arduous, grueling journey that we've all been on. Like, we started at the beginning, right? You remember what it was like when we started at the beginning? I got to say, it's been a while since I haven't listened to any of those first episodes in so long, man. It's like a lifetime ago. And as a matter of fact, it's 25 weeks ago, man. That's a long ass time, dude. I've been doing this shit for half of a year now. Because there's like 52 weeks in a year, duh. So I guess technically it's like next week, number 26, that will be one half of a year. Man, I really signed up for like 2 years of this bullshit, you know what I mean? It's not like I signed a contract or anything. And we're a quarter of the way there. We're 25%. Each one of these episodes represents 1%, you know what I mean? And that's what we are right now. We're all 1%. We're all just the top 1% of the world. We're the top 1%. We are the 1%ers. Yeah, the journey's it's taken, looking back, it's just been like week after week. First there was episode 1 in week number 1, and then that was followed by week number 2 and we had episode 2 then. And then after that was week number 3, and we did episode number 3 then. So yeah, and so on and so forth for all of the consecutive weeks following one after the other. It's just been episode after episode, week after week. And it's just hard to even wrap my brain around how long this journey has been. It's been longer than like both of my arms outreached. I couldn't. If this journey was a person in front of me, man, I wouldn't be able to hug them because my arms are not long enough to go around them. So yeah, it's just been so long. I feel like the sun's been beating down on me. I'm all weathered up, like I'm like a piece of beef jerky. I've got like a mad tan on. People, if they saw me now. Like now, 25 weeks later, after I first began, I don't think they'd even recognize me, you know what I mean? I've been through so many physiological changes, thanks to this brutal fucking journey, man. This adventure, right? This adventure that people wouldn't even recognize me anymore. I'm a changed man. I'm going to come out looking like a different person and being a different person at the end of this. If I ever make it to 100 episodes, you know what I mean? That's the dream. That's the goal. But like, as I said, it's not like I signed a contract. This journey is getting pretty long in the tooth, man. Week after week, this shit is just getting harder to do because, man, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like my nonsensometer is just puffing out gas, man. It's running on empty. It's fucking shooting blanks, man. You know what I mean? It's drawing quarters, it's cleaning up the cobwebs, and it's like plastering the lawn, you know what I'm saying? All of these things combined gets us into like some kind of free-form diagram. If you were to map it out like a blueprint or whatever, I think you'd see that it's quite... it's not just a linear thing. It's not just like a straight line like time is, man. It's more like a squiggle. Like we've had ups, we've had downs, we've had peaks, we've had troughs. Sometimes the water gets stuck in the troughs. Sometimes the ice gets on top of the peaks. And it's just like, this is just nature, man. It's just the way that nature goes. This is Mother Nature trying to reach down to me and flick a little switch on the back of my head. Like, I'm just imagining like the hand of God or the hand of Mother Nature. Like, it depends. If I imagine a masculine hand, then I imagine it's the hand of God. But if I think of like a feminine hand, then I think it's the hand of Mother Nature, or like Gaia from Captain Planet. Yeah, I still think about Gaia because she was like a beautiful, powerful black woman, and she was the spirit of the earth, you know what I mean? Shout outs to Gaia. And I just imagine like Gaia's hand coming down, and like me being like not like a wind-up toy or like a doll, but like one of those, a robot with like I wasn't thinking wind-up, but I suppose it's appropriate. It's like having a key. I was thinking of like a light switch on the back of my neck or the back of my head, and I'm just imagining Gaia's hand stretching out from the clouds and like giving me a little like a head pat and maybe ruffling my hair, and then like flicking the light switch on the back of my head, trying to get me to do more nonsense stuff, or like try to spit out more nonsense sort of things week after week for this podcast, you know what I mean? And the valleys that we see, like a part of nature, it's all just part of nature. This podcast is a part of nature. I'm a part of nature. I mean, I'm not supernatural. I think that'd be pretty cool though, man. Having some kind of supernatural powers would be fun. Like psychic abilities, or like superhuman strength, or turn invisible, or fly, or teleport. I think teleport would be OP, man. Like you wouldn't be able to, you'd be able to outrun anyone and no one would be able to catch me, man. Like the cops couldn't catch me if I did something wrong. Or if I did something right, people wouldn't know about it because I would just teleport out of there. I'd be like a totally benevolent superhero, just like making miracles happen, right? Like maybe some old lady stuck in her apartment and she's fallen down the stairs. She's like, oh, I've broken both my hips. And like I just teleport in, wrap her up in my towel, in a towel, and put her in my arms, and then teleport to the hospital, drop her off in the car park, and like, hey, there's a lady over here with broken hips. And then the staff's like, oh my God, what the hell? And they come running over and they give her medical attention. But by the time they've got there, I've already disappeared, man, with like just a flick of the wrist, or a click of the fingers, or a clap of my hands, or whatever, man. You know, maybe I just utter a magic word. I just say like, oh, abracadabra, and teleport. And I guess the journey would be a lot less long if I could just teleport my way through the entire fucking play, like just to the end of the destination. Imagine if I could just zip forward in time another 75 weeks, right? 75 weeks into the future, and just land at episode 100 and have them all done and completed, done and dusted, you know, like past. That's a past Milo thing. Future Milo, I mean, it would be if I teleported forward. Right now, it's a future Milo thing. That's why I'm thinking to myself, oh, God, I got to do this. 75 weeks, man. It's a long time, bruh. But as I said, no contract being signed. I ain't getting paid. So, the house of cards could collapse at any moment, man. The rug could be pulled. The tablecloth could be ripped away. Yeah. But I guess the thing is, man, like when you go in these, when you take on such big responsibilities and such massive fucking endeavors, right? It's very, very big. It's huge. These things that we do, like the things that we do are just so big. But what I'm doing is the biggest. Going on this podcast, like the journey, when something is this big and it lasts this long and it's only going to continue on into the future, then you don't do this kind of thing without making a few enemies, man. You know what I mean? Like, I got people in high places, I got people in low places. They all got their eyes on me, dude. They all wanted me to do things and I don't do them. Or some want me to not do things and I do those anyway, man. Because I can't be contained, bro. I can't be controlled. I don't give a shit about like other people's opinions or their expectations of me. Or maybe they've got like nefarious intentions and they're trying to manipulate me and get me onto like their side, or you know, whatever, man. They're trying to gaslight me. But the thing is, like, I just do my own thing. I don't listen to them all. I don't live up to any type of expectation except my own, you know? And so, like, on this big-ass journey, like, you make a couple enemies, you know what I'm saying? You make some enemies. Not everyone's going to be happy with what you're doing. Got people up, like I said, upstairs looking down. They're like, ugh. They got a big frown on their face, a big scowl, a big skull. They're just like, ugh. Look at this fucking clown down there, standing on the mound, thinking he's so great in town. You know, when's he gonna just fall down and roll into a pound of dynamite and explode? When is that gonna happen? But they're just preying on my demise, man. These people that are angry at me. Everyone is angry at Milo. Poor old Milo, man. I go outside and got people just like, the people on the bus that drive past, they're all like angry at me. They're just like banging on the windows, like, there's that guy, there's Milo, I hate that guy. Everyone's angry at me. My boss is angry at me. My mum fucking so angry at me. And all my friends are just tired of me. They're like, oh, Milo, when are you going to quit fucking around and, like, you know, shape up, man? Because we're about to ship out. If you don't shape up, we're gonna ship out, bruh. That's what kind of support I get. That's the kind of angry hate that is constantly directed at me, and I try my best to deflect it. I put up all of my defenses. I put up my shield, man. You know what I mean? Like, I put up my my force field, right? I got this big bubble. Like, I'm protected by. Sometimes I feel like I'm protected by Gaia or the forces of nature or God or whatever. Like, they're just that's the only person that I want to fulfill is the big man upstairs, right? I don't care about anyone else around here, man. I'm doing God's bidding. If no one got me, I know God got me. You know what I mean? He's got my back, bro. He knows me inside and out. He knows my feelings. He knows my thoughts, the good ones, the bad ones, and he accepts me for who I am. And it's because of this podcast, it's because of the things that I do and the things that I say and the things that I think. Everyone wants to change it on me. They want me to do a 180 on my own perceptions and my own thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, I can't stress this enough. So many people are angry for the things I say, think, and do. And there's just no pleasing some people, man. No pleasing them, no matter what I do, no matter who I try to impress, no matter, like, it's all in the past, man. I used to do these things. I used to try to please people. I used to try to be like, you know, better for other people in their eyes. But what I realized, I just needed to be better for me. You know, fuck all those other people, man. They're never going to change me. Try as they might to change me. You know, I'm going to remain dangerous, man. I'm going to remain so dangerous, like, with my thoughts and my ideas, all these concepts that I come up with, my plans and strategies and stuff. Like, they can't be, you know, beaten down. They're not going to beat them out of me, man. They're not going to try and brainwash me, dude. I mean, they're going to try, but they're not going to succeed. Advertising, they try to get me like, I feel like I'm getting gang stalked or something. The advertisements speak to me and try to change my thoughts and, like, get me to turn around and turn left or turn right or go around the roundabout or over the bridge or under, right, or, you know, want me to pull over to the sidewalk or fucking whatever. Like, I'm on the fucking, dude, I'm on my own freeway right now. I'm on the fucking motorway, dude. I'm on the M5 and I be just fucking switching gears and staying in my own motherfucking lane, and ain't no one gonna come and put rain on my parade, bruh. So I picked up my car from the mechanics the other day. This is my car part 3, the third installment of my car, and thankfully I found a mechanic that works on the weekend, so I don't need to just keep driving my car around until the wheels fall off and the engine pops out and, like, my car starts crying and breaking down or, you know, slashing its own tires or something like that because it doesn't want to go any further. It can't possibly bear the weight of the world and the weight of my ass in the driver's seat, man. You know, it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore because I found a mechanic. And they open on the weekends. So I took my car there and we got the shit sorted out, bruh. It just had a bit of a heart murmur, but I think we got like a stint installed and a pacemaker, and it's on a prescription of antibiotics and whatever, like steroids and stuff like that. And it's doing better, dude. My car's doing a lot better. It's purring, as a matter of fact. My car be fucking purring, bro, like a kitten, or purring like a lion or a tiger. Or sometimes my car be like just screaming like a chimpanzee type thing. Or my car's not afraid to oink like a pig. Gets a bit porky from time to time, man. Really hams it up, you know what I'm saying? Fucking my pink twisted tail car, I just want to fucking sometimes drive away into the forest, but I can't because hunters out there with their dogs, and they be sniffing for boars and pigs and stuff, and I'm afraid that my porky ass car is going to get hammed up by the wolves, man, or any type of other animal like a thylacine or a Tasmanian devil or something like that. Could take my car at any moment, maybe a wild bobcat or something, you know, if I go into but that's why I'm going to install like all kinds of weaponry and shielding protection systems on it, like maybe get a jetpack or like, you know, some kind of thrusters installed so I can make a clean getaway. You know, if the wolves descend on my car. And I guess it's a good thing that the car be back into commission, man, because I got to drive that bitch to work, bro. I got to drive it places, man. All kinds of places. Got to drive to the supermarket. Got to drive to the mall. I got to drive to various restaurants. And I've got to fucking, you know, drive to the coffee shop every weekend. Enjoy the ride, bro. You got to enjoy the ride. And you can't be doing that if the car ain't purring. or chirping. You need your car to be purring, chirping, squawking, squeaking, like a mouse, squawking like a bird, or whatever, man. As long as it's making all types of animalistic sounds, then I feel like I'm the king of the jungle. I could join the Rat Pack and just rise to the ranks and be their chief immediately with my car, my animalistic car, man. Animality. I feel like my car would turn into, like, what's the most feared animal in the history of animals? Like, probably a lion crossed with a polar bear, right? That's pretty scary, but it needs to be able to fly. And an eagle. So, like, my car is like a polar eagle bear lion. The way it can withstand such cold temperatures and doesn't give a shit. Like, I went out in my car this morning, it was all frosted up, still drove. And, like, it's just the maddest car in the world. I really appreciate it, and I'm glad that I've stumbled across it. Like, I don't know what I'd do without it. If I ever go homeless, I can live inside of it. If I ever need to get away from the world, I can just jump in the car and off I go. You know what I mean? I'm on my own little journey. I'm on my own little slice of life fucking episode or whatever. Like I said, I could be an anime where I'm the main character. Well, people think that I'm the main character, but if you, like, did a retrospective of this TV show and put it on YouTube, people would start to understand that the car was actually the main character and I was just there to, facilitate seeing it. You can't have a car without a driver, bro. I like to listen to music in my car, bro, but every now and then songs get stuck in my head because I listen to the radio or I listen to whatever the fuck, man. I just listen to my music and things get stuck in your head, right? I'll be driving around going do 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 do, or baby, I'm your man. Stuff like that. Just, songs going through my head. Even when the radio's off, there's songs that are stuck in my head. They're stuck in my head. They're stuck in my head. But there's a lot of things that are also stuck in my head, bro. Like my brain and my eyeballs. They're all stuck in my head, bro. My face is stuck on my head. I can't get it off unless someone... Maybe I'll go to, like, the Mexican cartels and do a dodgy drug deal and get my face peeled off with a piece of a mirror. Smashed mirror or something. Or I could poke my eyes out. They're stuck in my head pretty solidly, but they could be poked out or eaten by if I fell down and broke my spine and become paralyzed below the neck. Then the ants could come and, like, potentially eat the eyes out of my sockets. And I don't think any amount of closing my eyelids is going to help that because they probably just eat through that too. They start with the lashes. Be like the scene from the Lady and the Tramp when the two dogs are sucking on the piece of spaghetti. That's what the ants are going to be like with one of my eyelashes before they get onto the main meal. They're just devouring my eyelids, and then they get onto the juicy center where all of the nourishment and vitamins are stored inside of my eyeballs. It's just like brain food for ants, and then they become super duper ants and probably take over the fucking whole ecosystem or whatever. I mean, I feel like ants done that now already in Australia. There's fucking ants everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go, in the desert, in the city, ants. Go to the fucking corner store, ants. Go into my bathroom, ants. There's fucking ants all over the planet. And ants are one thing I do not want stuck in my head, but I guess you get like an earwig stuck in your ear, or any type of insect could crawl inside of your ear and get stuck. I guess the most important, the easiest thing to get stuck in your head is probably songs because they're mostly painless, pain-free. Or you can have like a movie stuck in your head, like a scene of a movie just thinking about it. I suppose you could fixate on anything, right? Just have things stuck in your head. But what if you had like a letterbox stuck in your head? And that way, like when you stood outside, if you stood out by the fence for too long and the mailman came by, you'd just jam an envelope in there, in your mouth or something. Or any type of physical thing, like I guess people like being around in a hurricane or whatever when there's a real bad windstorm, there's like 1,000km/h winds and like they pick up debris and wood and stuff, and if one of those, like a peg, was like some kind of stake, like a wooden stake, if that was flying at your head, it could go straight through it, and then that could get stuck. Or imagine if you had like a sword stuck in your head. That's what I would do. If you could have anything stuck in your head, what would you put in there? I'd probably get like a sword in the stone type deal, like a sword wedged in my skull, deep into the brain, like really in there, so only the chosen one could pull it out. You know what I mean? I could probably wait around. It'd be like a fairy tale. People would be like, oh, that guy, poor dude's got a sword stuck in his head and no one can get it out. But when I find the true love of my life, she'll be able to walk up and just with a tiny little, no effort at all, just like caress my head and the thing would probably just fall out and she'd pick it up and be like, hear ye, I got the sword, motherfuckers. And that would be a relief because not only would I be no longer soul-searching, my soul-searching journey would be over. I would have found my true love, my one life's partner, right? But probably have a lot less pain because she removed the sword from my brain. Pain in my brain. I got a sword in there. No one really cares what I wear, especially if I got a big-ass blade. I don't give a fuck, man. Let's go and play. On the battlefield, I'm pulling out the pin, then I throw the grenade. Yeah, I let the AK spray, submachine gun go way back to where I was a kid. That's when I got my first tin lid. I pull out the paper and I put it straight in. Young Milo gonna go in the bin. Yeah. Imagine if my car sounded like an elephant. Type thing, or I guess that was sort of like that was a little bit like howling. I was trying to do like, yeah, that's more elephanty. Imagine if my car did that on the highway or while it was in my garage. I would probably think, I mean, my car doesn't stay in a garage because I don't have one. It stays out in my driveway, but it'd be weird if I could just hear those types of sounds in the middle of the night when I got up to get a glass of water or go to the toilet or do whatever it is that I need to do, scratch my balls, wake up and scratch my balls, and I just suddenly hear the hooga, hooga, booga, ooga, booga, or whatever, like weird-ass sounds, man, thinking that a bunch of weird-ass tribalistic animals are descending upon my fucking premises. And then I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. I'd be too worried. Oh man, there's cannibals outside. I think they're going to get inside of my house and eat my body and then eat my soul or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Oh, what am I supposed to do? What is a boy to do in that event? I'd probably have to escape out the window or just like maybe hide somewhere inside. Like maybe try to climb into the air conditioning duct or something and see. The cannibals aren't going to know what they're looking at. They've probably never been to like civilized society ever. They'll be like, what is this futuristic environment made out of squares? Talking about rooms in my house.
to the Milo Experience.
I think I could become a petty officer. I think I could become a petty officer because, I'd be really got good attention to detail and, just always be scrutinizing things, you know what I mean? Just scrutinizing everything I see. Typos, text messages, fucking advertisements, brand logos, marketing, people's motives and all that type of shit, man. I'd just be thinking all the time, what's this guy up to? What's that guy up to? Or someone tells me that they want to fucking, someone asks me if I want a cup of tea and I'll be like, oh yeah, well maybe I do want one of those cups of tea, and then they bring it over to me and they go, oh, here you go, and I start to sip on it and I realize they didn't put any sugar in there and I'm like, oh, you didn't put any sugar in my tea, mate? Yeah? Well, how about this? I'll get them back. Then next time they ask me to make a cup of coffee for them and I don't put any coffee in it. Wouldn't that be petty? Yeah, remember all those times you made me tea and didn't put sugar? Here's a coffee with no black bean in it, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Or just people trying to double cross me or whatever, I could probably whip up some type of really small, incremental death by 1,000 cuts type of fucking revenge. You know what I mean? Maybe someone eats my lunch at work. And then for the rest of the employment there, I could take an eyedropper into work and just maybe put one drop of bleach on their food for the rest of the time that they're there, or on my own food or whatever. Or I could just put bleach on everyone's food. You know what I mean? Just cover everyone's food in bleach, or not cover it because that'd give it away. But if I had an eyedropper and I had a bottle of bleach, I could just put a little drop of bleach on everyone's food, and that wouldn't kill them immediately, or maybe it would never kill them, but it'd probably make them really sick. But I guess that'll teach them to clean up their act. Clean up their fucking act and stop stealing my food, man. I'll show you who the real petty officer is, man. I'll show you. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and then I just go around them. So I'll be in the middle lane. I'm always in the middle lane, right? Middle lane kings, middle lane supremacy. And then someone cuts you off. They're like, oh, fuck. So you know what you do? You swerve out into the left lane or the right lane. You get ahead of them and then you cut them off, bro. In my petticoat, man, I'll be all swagged out in all types of coats, hoodies, jumpers, jackets, you name it, man, I've got it. And I'll be wearing it. Maybe not all at once, but I'll still be, rocking up to different formal events with a different type of coat, different type of protection against the weather or warmth or whatever, man. Keeping me insulated and keeping my energy inside of my body. So I'm not wasting any of my energy on trying to overheat when it's all just getting expended out into the cold atmosphere, right? I got this petticoat on and I could be the officer. I could be the number one officer if I was in an office and I was petty. I think that's the plan, man. That's the plan moving forward. That's going to be the plan for my life. It's going to be the plan for this podcast. And it's going to be the plan for my occupation. Because I don't want to be stuck in a rut forever. I don't want to be working the same old rudimentary fucking thing, going through the motions lifestyle every single day. I want to switch it up, dude. And I think the way to do that is to create a plan. Create plans, man. People got all types of plans all the time, right? You got blueprints, you got tactics, strategies. Even in sports, man, you got a plan of attack or a plan of defense. You might want to, maybe the enemy's got a really good ass tactic or strategy against you, so you got to plan some defense around that, man. You know what I'm saying? And plans don't just come out of fucking nowhere, dude. They take a lot of work. They take a lot of thinking. You got to knuckle on down, and you got to go to brainstorm town and really nut things out, bruh. You got to think about all the possibilities, all the different variables and factors. You got to weigh up the goods and the bads, the odds and the evens, and see if it all comes out Stevens, bruh. Not everything is clear cut. See, if everything was clear cut, then you'd probably be able to, every time you got a haircut, you'd see straight through it. But it's not just that simple, dude. It's just a matter of trial and error sometimes. Sometimes the greatest plans didn't just fucking work the first time. They had to fail. And only through failure can we be truly reborn, man. Yeah, only through failure and testing our worst plans can the real, true, best plans rise above. Maybe that's why there's so many people on Earth, because everyone's got a plan. Everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face, right? And I guess everyone's got a plan and not all of them work. And we learn from others' mistakes, don't we? So maybe the best thing to do is just find out what everyone else's plan is and see how they go. And based on their results, then you make your own plan or you react to their failures or successes. If you see someone succeeding over there, you might learn something from them. If you see someone failing over there, then you might learn something from them as well, like what not to do, duh. maybe plans are just like their natural instinct of any type of animal anyway. Because like sometimes I feel like a lot of animals have plans, like they know what they're doing, man. But like if you just run off of instinct, like I guess like a lion will plan to take down a gazelle, right? It's like it sees one bouncing around in the distance and it doesn't just go, hey, and just like bear down on it and try to attack it full on, man, from the front on, right? It waits until it can skulk around the high grass, or, you know, it waits until like it's trying to take a sip of water from a croc-infested lake. And while the animal, the deer or the gazelle or whatever, is too busy thinking, oh shit, what's up with these alligators trying to hunt me down in this water? Like, is it safe to sip? Is it safe for me to take a drink? That's when the lion will pounce, dude. So is that just planning or instinct? Or maybe it can be both. Is it really like I don't think that they're mutually exclusive, right? Maybe nature has set us up with these certain plans. Maybe nature has set us up with certain instincts, and plans fall because of that. Plans are created based on instinct, bruh. It's just general animal, behavior. It's just, what's the word? Imperative. It's the imperative of the animal to make plans. It's the best laid plans of mice and men. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't have put mice in the saying if animals didn't plan, bruh. Maybe mice do have plans to repopulate and steal the cheese, outsmart the cat, or whatever the fuck it is, or take over the world. If you're familiar with the Pinky and the Brain, those were just mice. As a matter of fact, those dudes were scheming and planning all the time. Every single fucking episode, that dude, the Brain, had some kind of fucking plan up his sleeve, didn't he? Didn't think of that, did you? And you think that all animals are stupid. You think that every animal is just a dumb animal with no thoughts going on inside its head. But if I could show you plenty of fucking media in which the animals be thinking, talking, chatting, and planning, dude. So if life teaches us anything, it's that men, they exist in the domain of animals, and animals exist in the domain of humans. And it's also like a circular triangle or a triangular circle or something. Like, it's just a cyclic triangle, man. You know what I mean? Things just be going around in triangles. Or, you know, if there's a lot of different points of contention, it might sort of become a circle if there's many different sort of integers or whatever. But that's the thing. That's the way that plans are performed, bro. That's the way that plans come into existence. It's just about animal and human cooperation. A lot of the best plans in the world came from us pairing up together, man, and doing things into the future, bro. Like planning for the future. Domesticating wolves. Like, we got the wolves, we turned them into dogs. We got some shitty cats and turned them into house cats. We got the horses and we learned to ride them, you know what I mean? Or like the fucking cows, dude. We planned to put the cows in the paddock so we could milk them and eat them, or the chickens, whatever, dude, you know? It's all relative, man. It's all about balance between the animal kingdom and the human kingdom, man. It's all about the best laid plans of not just mice, not just men, but when they both come together and things go into fruition, man. Things start to succeed. We start to reap the benefits of the seeds that we've sown. And I guess that's another type of plan, another type of entity with which humans can plan is plants. You know, plants, flora, because agriculture is a big deal, and like horticulture or whatever. I don't know what is different, like what is one and what's the other. But crops. We planned crops, right? We planned to plant things and then harvest them so that we could feed our population. Yeah. So yeah, man. Plan to do this, plan to do that, plan as hard as you will, and sometimes plans fail, but it doesn't really matter because you learn from our mistakes, you pick yourself up, and we plan another plan, and we go and plant our heels, and we plant our feet, and we fucking just say, no, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to be beaten down by these motherfucking haters. Everyone hating on me, being angry at Milo for my plans and for the things that I think. We're not going to stop for them. We're not going to, turn tail. We're not going to curl up into a ball and beg for forgiveness, man, because that's a bunch of bullshit. All right, so with all of that out of the way, I think that brings us to the end of the Milo Podcast. Bing bong, bing bong. Episode number 25. I want to thank you all so fucking much for listening to this episode and for being with me from the beginning, boys and girls. Or if you haven't been from the beginning, I still thank you. If you just tuned in, if this is your first episode, then I feel fucking happy for you, mate, because you have not been subjected to this bullshit for 25 weeks in a row. This is just your first week. You got a lot to catch up on, you know what I mean? So yeah, I want to say thank you for everyone listening to this episode today. If you're listening on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment down there saying, hello, Milo. Hello, bing bong. Thank you so much. Shout out to Ben, by the way. Shout outs to Ben. Biggest fan of the podcast. Shout outs to Ben. You know what I'm saying? If you're on Spotify, I'll make sure you subscribe as well. Subscribe, like, comment, share the link. And if you're on Spotify, you can like the episode. You can follow the podcast. You can share the link with somebody, with a friend, right? You know what I'm saying? Things are better when shared, bruh. Like a Kit Kat. Or what else comes? Like a Twix. They come with 2 pieces. Anything. Anything's better with share. Share the experience, man. It's all about shared experiences around here, bruh. So yeah, thank you very much. Thanks again. Thanks. And we'll be back next week for episode number 26. Oh yeah. This has been Milo. Thank you. The Milo Podcast episode 25 will end right about now. Bing bong.